I didn't notice the change right away. That's the part that still surprises me. I was still going to the gym, same building, same parking spot if I got there early enough, same smell when I walked in. Rubber mats, disinfectant, that metallic air that never quite goes away. From the outside, nothing looked different. From the inside, I was already tired. I'd crossed 40 without ceremony, no party, no crisis. Just a quiet addition to the number on medical forms. I didn't feel old. I also didn't feel young. I felt capable, or at least I thought I did. I had always trained like someone who was being watched, even when no one was, especially then. I loaded plates the way I had in my 30s, sometimes heavier, just to make a point I never fully named. There was a rhythm to it. Arrive, warm up fast, lift with intent, leave before doubt could show up. I told myself it was discipline. It wasn't. It was habit wearing a respectable coat. The small things started to shift first. I'd wake up already stiff. Not injured, just set. Like my body had cooled overnight and didn't warm up the way it used to. My shoulders complained when I reached for a mug. My knees had opinions about stairs. None of this felt dramatic enough to matter, so I ignored it. I added longer warm-ups, louder music, more caffeine. I learned how to push through sensations without naming them. That skill had served me well before. It didn't anymore. There were days I finished a session feeling hollowed out, not tired in a satisfying way, just drained, like I'd paid something I couldn't afford and pretended the receipt didn't exist. But I still logged the numbers. That part mattered to me. It mattered more than I wanted to admit. I wasn't chasing growth. I was guarding an image of myself, of what I thought strength was supposed to look like once you'd earned it through years of consistency. Backing off felt like erasing proof. So I didn't. The cost didn't arrive all at once. It leaked in, quietly. In how long it took me to feel normal after a session. In how I avoided certain movements without admitting I was avoiding them. In the way my training days began to dictate my mood instead of supporting it. I started negotiating with my body. Just one more heavy set, just get through today. It never sounded unreasonable in my head. The moment I noticed something was off wasn't dramatic. No injury, no snap, no collapse under a bar. It was a day I skipped a workout without guilt. That had never happened before. I told myself I was busy. I was. But that wasn't the reason. The truth sat underneath that excuse, unspoken. I didn't want to feel the weight that day. Not physically. Something else. I went back the next session and loaded lighter. Not as a plan, almost as an accident. I miscounted plates, realized it mid-set, and didn't fix it. That part matters. I didn't fix it. The set felt fine. Better than fine. My joints stayed quiet. My breathing settled instead of spiking. I finished and waited for the disappointment to arrive. It didn't. What did arrive was confusion and a little embarrassment. Because it felt good, and I didn't know what to do with that. I told myself it was temporary, a deload, a phase, a smart adjustment. I needed language that didn't threaten my identity. But something had already shifted. I noticed how often I'd been bracing. Not just my core, my face, my jaw, my whole system, gearing up for conflict that never came. I started leaving reps in the tank without making a big deal of it. Some days I didn't chase the pump. Some days I stopped a movement when it still felt clean, not when it started to fray. There was a strange grief in that. I didn't expect it. Letting go of the edge felt like losing a dialect I'd spoken fluently for years. I didn't know how to be in the gym without proving something, even to myself. And yet, my body responded. Not in a flashy way, not in numbers that impressed anyone, but in how I recovered, how I slept, how I stopped dreading the first few minutes of a session. I felt steady. That word kept coming back. Steady. My joints stopped sending warnings. My energy evened out. I didn't need a full day to feel human again. I was stronger in a different register, quieter, less theatrical. And that's where the discomfort really showed up. Because ego doesn't disappear, it just waits. It whispered that I was going soft, that I was rationalizing decline, that this was how it starts. You adjust, then you fade. Some days I believed it. I'd catch myself watching younger lifters move weight like it was a dare, and something in my chest would tighten. I remembered that hunger, that urgency. I also remembered the cost I used to call normal. There were moments I loaded heavier again just to check, to see if I still could. Sometimes I could, sometimes I couldn't. Both answers landed differently than they used to. When I could, it didn't light me up. When I couldn't, it didn't crush me. That balance felt unfamiliar and real. What actually changed my body wasn't the lighter weight. It was the absence of argument. I stopped treating training like a courtroom where I had to defend my relevance. I moved with attention instead of urgency. I noticed how certain angles felt better, how slower tempos revealed strength I'd been rushing past, how my body adapted when it wasn't under constant threat. This wasn't wisdom, it was relief. There was still a cost. There is one now. I don't chase records anymore. I don't get that sharp hit of validation from surviving something brutal. Some days I miss that version of myself. He felt decisive, loud, certain. I also remember how tired he was. Now my training supports the rest of my life instead of competing with it. I have energy left for the evening. My body doesn't feel like a separate project I'm managing through force. I didn't become younger. I became capable in a way that lasts longer than a session. And I know this worked because my body stopped negotiating back. I still train. I still care. I just don't need to be seen doing it anymore. Not even by myself. If this story crossed something you recognize, maybe it's enough to stay for a bit. I write and speak like this from experience, not conclusions. If you want, subscribe. And if something stayed with you, leave a comment. I read them, sometimes in silence,